Hello, Divine Feminine, and welcome to your timeless reading. Bear in mind a few things before we get into your reading that I, 7th, hold 2 channels. This channel belongs to the energies of Bastet. And to gain access to her sister channel of Segment, feel free to check out the description box below. Below, you'll also find various other forms of links to kind of help you travel between the content that I have allocated between both channels, as well as access to my website where you can find out more information as to who I am as 7th, as well as book any services that I have made available for you. Bear in mind that this is collective reading that I am holding. You and I have not tapped into making a one-to-one connection, so bear in mind that this is important to know in regards to utilizing your discernment to take all the bits and pieces that resonate with you and leave anything behind that may not have. Although this is allocated to be marketed as a divine feminine reading, bear in mind femininity and masculinity are non-gender specific. Femininity encapsulates both feminine and masculine energies. Masculinity as well has both feminine and masculine energies. All right, welcome to your divine feminine collective reading. I am 7th, aka Master 7th, that reads these energies for you. I am a master healer that provides remote wellness alignments and tarot intuitive insights such as this. Oh, God, my ego is starting off strong. If you're anything familiar with my second channel or my other channel, neither one is in the first or second place. If you're familiar with any of that, then you may have come across when I get triggered over there with a certain card that shows up within a reading or may show up within a reading, whatever. It's just whenever it shows up, I take it personal. And when I say I take it personal, it is a minor arcana. So it is meant to hit. It is meant to be like, the fuck? What is it? And because it's the question of what, and whether it's what is it or what do I do, is all a bit ambiguous. But the problem with the ambiguity is that there's a riddle involved in that. And the riddle means that whatever answer you're going to come up is the answer with what the question is alluding to figure out. I'm hearing figure itself out. All right, anyway, so what is that card? Is the Seven of Swords. When I read for Bastet and this card comes out, I'm a bit more I'm a bit more tolerant. I had to find the right word. 333. I am a bit more tolerant when Bastet sees the energies of 7th. 7th of Swords. Freudian slip when she sees the energies of 7th. That's good. Thank God. 7 of Swords. All right. Next to it, or with that, came the 2 of Pentacles and a 10 of Cups. So, I mean, that's the reason why it's very specifically tailored. So the ambiguity comes with trying to understand why the 7 of Swords hits the ego as much as it does, right? Whether that's personal or you feel the same, it hits. It just hits because it's a 7 of Swords. So it's meant to be intrusive. It's meant to sting a little bit, maybe even a lot. It's deceptive because there is a sneakiness within this energy that you don't know who it's conflicting. The triggerer of the pursuit of the deception or that of which is being deceived. So it's like, who's in the cause and effect of of the decisions made by this individual, the Seven of Swords, right? In a way, the Seven of Swords is kind of looking in a way that I could read this energy at the family here, right? But the family has no idea that on the sidelines, this energy is looking at them and is being a bit deceptive. So that's a heat of caution, all right? Be a little bit more on your pins and needles and alert. The way that you can remain more alert is emotionally regulating your emotions. Regulating your emotions. Emotionally regulate emotions. Emotions need regulation. All that jazz. Okay? Now, some of you have individuals around you that can help with that learning curve. Others do not. Others are in the receiving end of that of which it is to be deceived. Others are in the predatorial pursuit of doing the deceiving. So to emotionally regulate the intensity of resonance is to meet your maker, which is you. You are the one in curious mode. You're the one who is highs and lows. You're the one of feminine intuitive powers. You may not know what intuitive powers is. You may be a victim and or survivor of abuse, whether that's spiritual, emotional, physical. There is a lot of needing to ground with whatever is specifically this reading and the lessons of what it's trying to forewarn for what it ever means for you to have a future, right? Not saying you the future, but timeline future. In honor of Reiki, especially, future does not exist. Okay, it's multidimensional timelines within a space of present. So to learn that is to, again, emotionally regulate. Learn how to regulate those emotions. However you need to hear the word to feel a bit moved by needing to take accountability. Even if that accountability is healing because you were on the end of being the one hurt or deceived or someone used you as prey. I mean, that's even more of a reason to pull back and know that you have enough resources and pulling back within the skin that you are to heal adequately. Man, if that wasn't the smoothest ride of me trying to read Seven of Swords energy, I don't know what is. Like I said, meeting your maker, the Hermit energy, all right? You want to think it's outside of the box, meaning outside of what you cannot dictate and control, all right? That's society, all right? Everyone's trying to figure that shit out for themselves. But to meet your maker is to have an actual conversation with who you are, your inner inertia, of the matter within that matters, all right? And the multidimensional dilemmas of trying to figure out how much you matter. I mean, I don't understand on a personal note why it's so difficult for humans to have a interconnectedness relationship with themselves and be loyal to that shit. Like a dog. Be loyal to that shit. I mean, what are the ironies that being loyal like a dog to yourself? Spell that shit backwards. Being a little upside down is G-O-D. I mean, the parallels are fucking hilarious, right? Whether you're laughing or find it intellectually intriguing, which is then the internal laughter, is the coincidence, the hypocrisy, the contradictions, and the parallelisms of everything. And the one lost is you. So, if a bunch of people come up in a circle and they're all fucking lost, there's not a lot of hope for that fucking circle. Okay? So, meeting thy maker is meeting yourself. All the vicious, ugly, beautiful, grateful, prideful, sociopathic, whatever fucking ugly parts make you, meet thy maker, which is you. There are other people within that spectrum of figuring it out that are there to be in a form of trajectory with, to see whether or not that frequency is going to bring a communion between you and it, and you and them. You know, and the voice of reason, that speech of transparency, the speech of what you desire, the speech of what... This is 10 of Cups. So Cups is communication. Cups is the things that lie heavy in your heart. The things that lie heavy in your heart are the things that lie heavy in your mind. And bringing voice and breath and reality to that with a form of oxygen and relaying that message is, I mean, blue is the one frequency that takes the most fucking space in the fucking rainbow. You have indigo and then you have blue. So there's 2 lanes of the highway. So yeah, is it hard to sway between the 2 lanes of a lot of opportunity? Sure. I mean, it definitely, compared to red, orange, yellow, green, and violet, indigo blue is like fucking a bit winning, right? Winning in the sky blue and the ocean blue. It's winning. It's winning all the way around. And for some reason, 1111 that's not winning is a communication sector of how you can be honest, transparent, accountable, show up, be in the physical inertia of wellness, of groundedness, of understanding when chaos fits the bill and when you need to remain in your own fight or flight, causing an effect of the stratosphere of life. And I say stratosphere because it is. You don't have that full disclosure about yourself, you won't ever feel complete. No matter what no matter what it is that you try to manifest for yourself, you never feel complete. That's why some of those transformational stories of like, I don't know, person with 6-figure fucking salary quits their job, you know, goes on an adventure, on a hike, into the high mountains, into the fucking deep forests, and feels renewed again. And depending on where you are in your curiosity, you either love it, hate it, or indifferent. And it still has to do with a perception of what somebody else is making a decision on for themselves. So it's like you automatically assume prejudices, opinions that are naturally coming with the way that you intellectually think. Whether you like it or not, whether you can control it or not, it's like almost an automatic thing. Those are all facts to prove that what you dictate is either before or after something that already has happened. Everything is in the mind. Everything is in the mind. What you hate, what you love, what you fear, what you know, what you don't know, what you want to become, whose control you're under. It's all right there. You have the whole fucking package to figure that shit out. You just do. You don't need to have 10 fingers, 2 arms, 10 toes to figure that shit out. If you have a mind, great place to start. All right, Page of Pentacles. So, to become aware as to why you are where you are, which is, I mean, here in this moment, there is a growth to your inner self, right? There's an expansion, whether that's the word of liking what is being said, resonating with what is said, being angry with what's being said, agreeing or not agreeing with what's being said. That space is becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. It's like that Page of Pentacles. It's becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. And to fulfill it, to fill each crevice, to identify with it, that's still your choice. Yeah, still your choice. You are your own maker. You are your own creator. You are your own pilot to having an aerial point of view as to who the fuck you are, what the fuck you want to be, what makes sense and what doesn't. There are a lot of things that can make sense for someone else, but it may not make sense to you. Again, this King of Pentacles swims in the maturation of knowing that living in the existence of opposing ambiguity is the emotional relationship that's to be yearned for as a human. And when you're feminine focused, you feel that sense of magnetism. It just propels through the oxygen of breath you bring to it, a form of inertia. And that inertia makes you question if you're someone that needs to return into a flow or not. Because there's a flow happening all around it. And there's no reason why it should anything be at a standstill. So having that aerial point of view and that groundedness point of view helps build an overall consensus to the stratospheres of the things that are making you. And like I already mentioned, within that stratospheres are other people in the aerial view and the groundedness view trying to make sense of themselves. But if we're in that point of trajectory and we focus on anyone else besides ourselves, we become very fucking lost. We drown. We drown. We drown of missed opportunities. We drown of missed relationships. We drown in betrayal and deceit upon others. We drown. We just absolutely fucking drown. And the problem of drowning like that is that you never die. You'll be compressed. You'll be compressed. Your own accountability. All the cards that just came out were a lot of like fucking major arcanas here, okay? And like in a singular fashion, a singular means of needing to retrace your footsteps to figure out where the formula is that's wrong, where there's a kink in the formula. Because only with your eyes would you be able to look at that formula and say, there's the kink. And within the stratosphere, if there's anything that can go there because of your focused attention to it, it will magnetize itself there, period. It's just period. You want to blame this, you want to say it's that, meaning blame God, say God will take care of it. Actually, God can only take care of it if you, the intended one within you, intends to focus on that. And not when you're drowning, but when you're level-headed and you're afloat, when you're in the common ground of being right above the water and right below the sky. For all the ways that you may not identify with it, or all the ways you need to remove yourself from still asking the question for more deliverance upon thee with God energy. Because you're filled. You're filled to the brim. The cup runneth over. You're oversaturated. And you're no longer fucking listening. You're no longer applying. Majority of centuries have no longer applied. It's been more of a ritual of just say the mantra. Because if you say the mantra, it will appease enough. And whomever it appeases enough takes attention away from me. Do you really think collective universe really will allow that to forever to happen? Like, you don't think the inconsistencies here will affect the inconsistencies over yonder? And you don't think the universe will know the melody and bass of its song? I mean, anyway. Six of Pentacles. The wedge between you under the sky and above the ocean, making that ship make sense, your relationships, the justice factor of what it means to be a human amongst other humans, the atrocities that start right there, because humans can have differences of opinions, and these differences of opinions can create overall peace or overall panic. Adjusting yourself to reach a sense of analysis is kind of what I'm seeing here as well. Where is your maturation? Especially if you're born before the year 2000 and you're in the year 2026. Like, there's a sense of, have you been listening though? And it's asking you, are you mature? Let's see it. Let's see it. Ambiguity is still here no matter how well it might feel because of the Seven of Swords. We still have to, with a grain of sand, although we are hugging and embracing and saying we forgive each other, we will have to learn how to live amongst each other, because the everyday is what makes that difficult. You know, someone who does the dishes or not, someone who takes out the trash or not, someone who says hi when you say hi back, someone who says sorry for stepping on your toes. You know, yes is a yes, no is a no. You know, it sounds basic, but how hard is it? How hard is it? With that splash of cards that came out, I was going to take the Lover's card because it was a little bit different. It was a little bit far away. And I was going to go to a whole spiel, see, feminine energy, blah, 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 but I didn't. I put them all back aside, and I said what I said. And the Ace of Wands came out saying, no, it's not about the energy you put out to the curiosity of either imagination, faith, what the fuck is that? Faith and belief. It's not about that anymore. It's filled to the fucking brim. Everyone, I've said this before, whether here or somewhere else on the other channel, the telecommunication lines between human and gods full. It's busy. Busy. When I say it's busy, and you're just not understanding how busy it is. Instead of being nice, leaving a message, saying, call me back, you know, on your own good time, you're just over here pleading away again. The majority who are pleading again know about patterns. They know about patterns and are perpetually saying these patterns. And I'm going to out this with a specific example with Psalms and scripture, okay? That's as far as specific I will go. They will repeat these patterns with the baseline understanding on my part over here to be like, okay, but these baseline patterns you're preaching to say that that's the voice of God. If that's the voice of God, you shouldn't be delivering it then. What? What are you doing? And if you're not doing it, what the fuck are you listening to? If I disrespected y'all, the Lovers and the Ten of Wands. You wanted to emit the Ten of Wands energy earlier. I don't know at what point, but in the midst of when I was shuffling, I saw the Ten of Wands poking out. Like wanting to take accountability. This is hard. This isn't easy. I didn't ask for this. Yeah. Neither are the fucking questions that you're asking God. So who's at quote unquote fault for creating these telecommunication lines that are so fucking busy? Universe is a multiverse, and the universe is the verses of many. Okay? The verses of many is going to reduce itself down to being retraceable, meaning it will always need to go back to 1. If it doesn't go back to 1, it feeds off of something else. So that's where you have scientific proof now of the eternal flower of life versus the flower of life. The flower of life is a Fibonacci spiral. Looks fucking beautiful, is beautiful. But it's not sustainable on itself. It will never flourish living on its own. It will always collapse. It has proof that it will always collapse. What is in charge of keeping it afloat? What you don't remember. The eternal flower of life. Sustainable energy. Sustainable matter. Okay. All right. Lastly, the assist that the reading will give you is leave you with the Sun card and Justice. The sister energy of Bastet is Sekhmet. She's honored with the Justice card. I'm at a loss for words for this energy because I've said it all already within this reading. All of it. It's your inner child. It's inner you. It's whatever you feel inside needs to be justified or not. That's the inner inertia that's saying, hey, I need assist. And then you come in with that awareness of that needing an assist. And then you allocate yourself accordingly to be able to give yourself that assist. Whether that's in the presence of not needing to remain stagnant, physically walking out on earth to come across individuals that you may trigger, or the walk may have triggered, or something may have triggered for you to make a connection so that they can assist you on whatever you need assist. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say, because if anything needs repeating, if there's anything else here that needs to be asked, you're going to have to read the reading again. And I said, read the reading. That's interesting. All right. That being said, Divine Feminine, wishing you a wonderful morning or night wherever you are in the ether of this time and space. And may you keep flowing, growing, and glowing. Take care.